Hello, everybody. Welcome back to West Virginia University Esports. Tonight, we have a good one. We will be your casters for tonight. I am Gabe, and the lovely person here on my right is Will. And tonight, we have WVU Valorant facing off against a powerhouse school in Maryville. Now, West Virginia is coming off of a very big win last week up against Cumberland Rising, a bit of a homecoming match there with Jay Chronic, who used to be a long-term member of our team playing for Cumberland Rising as their captain. But this week, this new roster, they have a match under their belt, and we're going into a match against Maryville, which is a very high-level team. They play in contenders, and they have the likes of Eccles, of Renz, of other players that have really high-level experience. So, just what do you think out the gate from this West Virginia team tonight?
Well, firstly, anyone that knows anything about high-level esports knows about Maryville.
Yeah.
It almost doesn't matter the game.
Mm-hmm.
They are high quality across the board. Everything they touch almost turns to gold. They have a coach who coached Cloud9, Gen G,
Yep.
a lot of really high level experience. But on the side of the Mountaineers, came off a good win last week. Always nice to see Jay Chronic. Even though this time not on the right team, but that's fine. And they already come out with a 2-0 win. Dinks looked incredible.
He did.
His Neon looked very good. West Virginia kind of got over that little hump of not being able to win on Sunset. Now that they found their Neon player, would not be surprised if we go Sunset again today.
Absolutely.
Just because Neon is so strong on that map. I was very impressed with how they looked last week, but Maryville is a challenge for anyone.
Yeah, absolutely. They're one of the top teams in NA, no matter how you slice it. I mean, they're up there with the likes of Winthrop and Blinn. So this is definitely a challenge for the Mountaineers. But like you said, I want to talk about Dinks before we go here in the game in a minute. So Dinks, we didn't see Neon last year, unfortunately. And that's, it wasn't in the meta. It was a Jet Rays meta, as it had been for a while. And it still kind of is, depending on the map. But people forget when Dinks was rank 1 in NA on the ladder, he played a lot of Neon. So now we get him into a meta where Neon is good. The sprint recharges faster. You build your ult so fast when you can frag out, especially when you have players like Guck and Excite that can set you up for those kills with those smokes and the flashes. And, I'm just so excited to see this Neon again tonight. Hopefully we see some Neon maps like the Sunset or the Haven, but either way, it's going to be tough, I think. It's two very well-coached teams with very well-built rosters.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's a bit of a powerhouse matchup right now. We can talk all day about how good historically and right now Maryville has been. But on the side of the Mountaineers, I agree with everything you said on Dinks. Neon, a Neon meta, in my opinion, is a fun meta. Such a fun character. For how they've been playing, how they performed last week. I mean, really hopeful that they can continue. Ride that hot hand into today. Come out fast early.
Yep.
Try and catch Maryville off guard a little bit. It's hard to catch Maryville off guard though.
They're is
very buttoned up.
I can't remember the last time I've seen them drop around after a timeout. So even if you are West Virginia, exactly, you have to come out and you have to, show some aggression early. You have to show that you know what you're doing and that you can be in this fight. And the hardest part is, honestly, when you have a coach like MCE, you're playing against a 6 player, right? Mm-hmm. You have that coach that can draw up everything, calls the timeout when he needs, and he can lay out the next 12 rounds if he has to. You know what I mean? So this might come down to a battle of the IGLs, if I'm being honest. Yes. Like you have Eccles versus Inox. Which player can keep their team together and make the right calls? And honestly, tonight, I'm a little bit partial to the Mountaineers. I know we always say that just because, it's here on my shirt. Got the Flying WV, the school. I go here, right? But this roster has not shown many weaknesses. Against Cumberland, it was their first match together. There was some rust. We saw Excite take some gunfights he probably shouldn't have early. We saw a few smokes that were a little bit late. We did see A77 on the smokes go down a little bit early, and when you don't have your Omen in those retake scenarios, it's a lot harder to play those. So it's going to be up to both of these teams to see who can just outthink the other. There's going to be a lot of mind games, I think.
And one thing I want to see earlier from the Mountaineers is that it's so early in the season, right? Second match. I want to see them form kind of their identity and what they want to be as a team. If you want to beat Maryville, you can't beat Maryville at their own game.
Absolutely.
You have to play to your strengths. You have to play to what you know best. If you just want to walk and be like, all right, whatever Maryville does, we can just do better, you probably can't. That's the reality. They are so good at what they do. You have to take your own strengths and your own weaknesses, find out what works, and you have to commit to them. And I hope that West Virginia can come out early. As I said, I mean it is early in the season, so that identity maybe is still forming about what team they want to be, but they need to form that quick. It's really a toss up for me. I'm probably not as partial on. I'm probably not as keen on the Mountaineers tonight as you might.
Which is fair. That's fair.
Just because I mean Maryville for
It's
as
hard to
long as I
deny
can remember,
Maryville.
It's hard to pick against them. But I think West Virginia comes out early and they show who they are, and you know they had that identity backed by their IGL. I think they do have a chance. For
They
sure.
do have a chance, and a lot of it's going to come down to map picks. So like we said earlier, those neon maps are going to be huge for West Virginia. I am not sure if Maryville is running a neon right now, but if they're not, that's a huge advantage to West Virginia, because if you run that Raze on a Sunset or that Jet on a Haven, it's just way harder to take those duelist 1v1s against a neon when you're on a Jet or a Raze. You don't have the movement, you don't have that wide swing ability with the slide, you don't have a stun in your kit. So I'm really curious to see what Maryville bans and what West Virginia bans first, but, you know, we might see a Maryville Sunset ban. Either way, I'm kind of hoping to see an Abyss, you know, to see that Astra play from either side, because Astra's very meta. You kind of have to run an Astra on Abyss. But, you know, other maps that are typically bread and butter for West Virginia, like the Split, still not in rotation. That map pool has not switched over yet into the esports scene. So I'm expecting a Sunset. I'm expecting a Haven, perhaps an Abyss, but Maryville's probably going to pull something out of their pocket, because they always do.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised at all. I mean, who knows what they've been scrimming, and I mean, just talk a little bit more about the duelist matchup, especially with Dinks on Neon. Dinks is already hard to beat Dinks.
Yep.
Even All right, we are back. Some mild technical difficulties, but we are going to keep it rolling. And now, first map here, going to Icebox. Not something that I would have guessed, but something new. Always fun to see. Now we're seeing the agents come in. Guk on the Omen. Enox on that Viper with A77 locking in with the Venture. On the other side, on the side of Maryville, Chloric on the Viper as well. Wildfire XL on the Sova there, and then Ren's on the Breach. No other lock shot, although we do have some hovers. Looking like pretty similar comps here. Both with the Viper, both looking like going to be a Sova and a Killjoy. Difference in duelists though, with
oh my gosh,
on the Reyna.
Dinks is hovering that ISO. And he will go over to the Jet. I was about to say, no, he will lock the ISO. We're going to see a solo duelist ISO here from West Virginia. And Giza still hovering that Reyna. We did see ISO get that buff in a patch a few months ago, and Giza will lock the Reyna. So what I said pregame about running that hard meta is just out the window. No Jet for either team. And this is an interesting lineup. I've never seen Dinks on the ISO. He's never played it for West Virginia. And Giza, we have seen Maryville run, I believe they've ran that double duelist comp on Bind with a Reyna and a Raze, but never a solo duelist Reyna. So this should be very, very interesting.
Yes, very interesting to see. If I'm going to trust anybody on the ISO, just the ISO, I will trust Dinks. It looks like he's going to pick up the Ghost here on round 1. And a lot of Maryville over here on A side. Killed is setting up for traps, but now it looks like a couple of people rotating over to that B site. And so West Virginia going to set up a Viper wall at B here.
Inox on the Viper. I mean, this is a bit of a, might be a hasty generalization, but you don't typically see, an IGL like Inox playing that Viper. But, now that we have this new roster, he's kind of available to flex and kind of play whatever he wants. Excite is very comfortable on that Sova. So seeing him on that Sova is not that big of a surprise. And we're going to see an early dart for some info over on A site. Excite and Guk playing up on that catwalk, kind of slowly trying to get some info. And Dinks looking at that one-way thrown by Maryville. Excuse me, that was thrown by West Virginia.
Wasting no time here at all.
Absolutely. Maryville playing very far back off-site. Renz is up on rafters, but other than that, with the Viper wall up, Giza is going to take some more space on that Reyna.
Sheriff.
Quick flash comes out. Guk throwing a few pot shots, and Giza will get the first kill on to Excite, but Guk quickly follows it up with the classic, and now A77 on that Killjoy with the Sheriff. Dinks playing up, forced to drop, and we will see an ISO plant here early. So the plant goes down. It's an even 4v4 retake for Maryville, and the turret finally goes down for A77, and Guk looking for him to walk out of the smoke, and the Killjoy Ainge does, but Renz takes out Dinks, gets Guk as well. It's up to Inox and A77.
West Virginia in a bit of a struggle here. Just
A77 with a quick shot.
Finds another for Enox.
West Virginia wipes that deficit from a 4v2 to a 2v0. Inox gets 3. A77 with a nasty shot with that Sheriff early. Gives West Virginia the pistol round 1-0 on Icebox. And, we've said it for a year now, but West Virginia typically struggles on those pistols. So that is a sight for sore eyes if you're a Mountaineer watching right now.
We talked about coming out fast, coming out early, and making a statement and showing your identity. And, I mean, who better else to do it than Enox? Finding three headshots in succession to clutch up that 4v2. So well done there by the Viper. And now West Virginia looking to a very similar setup here on the center attack. So the dart coming in onto A, Viper wall coming in onto B. A77 now lurking a little bit towards mid with that Sheriff. Maybe just covering the flank there.
Absolutely. Renz does take out Guk, but not after Guk can take out Wildfire. Now West Virginia with a Phantom in the hands of Dinks. Looking towards A site. And, this is, a bit of a sore spot when you're running that solo duelist with the ISO. You don't have as much entry power as you would with a Jet or a Neon or a Raze, or even a Reyna for that matter, with the two blinds. But you do have the wall to walk in, but in rounds like this, you don't have much utility to enter. Just that Sova drone, and that drone won't catch Giza. Or excuse me, that Viper playing back of the site. Now Dinks biding his time, waiting for that wall to go down, and he will put up his shield. Double tap is online, and he gets hit with the the breach stun, and walking back, we're gonna see a 2v2 here with Renz getting that high angle. Dinks takes out Chloric, and Renz very low HP for this retake.
30 seconds left. One enemy.
Wow, very convincing there from the Mountaineers. Able to take site kind of convincingly. I mean, obviously, having the rifles there helps a lot, but I mean, really well played. Nice cleanup there. Finding all the clean kills, and I believe only losing one player. So, Western economy in a pretty good spot right now.
Very good spot. And you see Excite with that Outlaw here on the bonus. Outlaw, very strong in these early rounds. And we see 4 light shields coming from the side of Maryville, so that is 4 players that can be one shot by the Outlaw anywhere on the body. Excite's gonna throw out an early shock dart here. Probably gonna try to fight for that ult orb, but that Sova with the Outlaw walking up on belt, looking for a body to peek out. We're gonna see Giza playing up on top of Jen there, trying to get an angle on Dinks, but Dinks squeaks right past, and still with the Phantom. I don't think he knows Giza's up there. Dinks walking right under Giza's nose, and Giza punishes Guk. Does get a trade on a Wildfire, though. Looks like we're going to see Guk and Excite got that kill. Looks like we're going to see Guk and Excite do a little slow walk rotate over towards B, where A77 has gotten that lurk up with Inox. A lot of map here to be fought for on the B site.
Yeah, and you see a little bit of that benefit of, you know, not hard committing A and sending A77 over to that B site. As I mean, he just get taken out there, but now with the wall up here for the Mountaineers, a lot of map space that they're going to take here. Try and get the plant down.
Yeah, very good smokes there from Guk, and Ainge still playing up on the height, and a little wall bang from the Guardian takes him out. West Virginia in an even 3v3. The plant will go down from Excite. Inox just spraying through that smoke with the Phantom. We have 2 Phantoms and an Outlaw for this post-plant defense, and looks like Giza's walked up, and Excite had no idea. Excite takes him out with the better gun. You have a Vandal, and now Guk and Inox both get a kill, and now it's a 2v1. Maryville is just falling apart on this defensive half.
I mean, Guk finds his third, Inox another kill, and just add one more for the IGL for the Mountaineers. I mean, he is really showing why they put so much faith in him so far. I mean, both in this season and last. I mean, we can see the execution. I mean, we can see the game plan coming out there. I mean, and then
absolutely, and Maryville already on a save here. 4 Sheriffs and a Stinger with 4 light shields. West Virginia 4 Phantoms and a Vandal. The economy is very lopsided here towards this Mountaineers, which is to be expected when you win pistol bonus and round 3.
Absolutely. I mean, not too often that you do see that, but I mean, Maryville on the back foot there very early. We talked about what's
out. What a flick onto Chloric. Dinks showing why, if anybody's going to play ISO, it's going to be him. That snappy aim, giving West Virginia the confidence to walk up. Excite is going to throw out his Sova drone early, going through that Viper wall. Not catching anyone just yet, and Inox is going to play behind yellow once again.
Looking to make a full commitment here. Bombs going to go down, and now
huge stun there from Maryville.
Viper both alive for this post plane. That's so much youth on against the Mountaineers, but he's trying to with the Marshall.
Oh, Inox.
Inox.
Great kill there to respond for Inox. Not letting West Virginia go down by too many players, and Dinks with an early ISO ult, sensing that they have a Sheriff, but Giza takes Dinks down in the 1v1 with just a Sheriff to his name, and now it's A77 in a 1v2 in this post plant, trying to spam the spike, but can't get anything, and Giza gets 4 with just a Sheriff.
Just a Sheriff. Those shots were very clean from Giza.
Very clean round from Giza.
I mean, almost, but just about any gun dangerous in his hands, but I mean, that one-shot headshot potential with the Sheriff can really turn away those rounds where it's like, I mean, it's 5 pistols versus 5 rifles. You're not supposed to win that, but I mean, with that one-shot kill potential, I mean, it can turn in a heartbeat, and Giza really demonstrated that there.
Absolutely, and now all of a sudden, Maryville gets 2 free guns, and now West Virginia's on the back foot in their economy. Forced to buy 1 light shield on to Dinks.
And it looks like
West Virginia's going to be looking for a bit of a 5-man B push here. Early Sova dart. Trying to get any information possible. An Omen ult popped early here from Guk. Straight back into Snowman, trying to find someone on the rotate, I'd imagine. It looks like he just might get that. It looks like Horik is trying to rotate over to Snowman, and Guk's just going to play in that smoke. Viper Pit committed early here for West Virginia.
The util there from Enox on the Viper is so potent. You get so much map control almost immediately. We talked about that pick earlier.
Guk tries to TP out, but he has 3 players, and Ainge does it all himself, getting 3 kills. Inox does get the trade, but still a 2v4. You still have the Viper Pit if you're West Virginia, so not lost just yet. A77 catches Wildfire in a bit of an odd position. And Maryville Chloric 1 HP, but still Giza taking out Inox. A77 blind for the moment. Second blind does come out from Giza. And A77 looking for a hero play once again.
To really pull out something special.
30 seconds left.
Chance of taking this map. He is pinned down from almost every angle here. And only 11 bullets left in this magazine. Gonna try and take the 1v1 early with Giza.
That high-low back in Snowman is diabolical, and he swings a little bit too wide. Giza punishes, and just like that, Maryville cuts the lead to 2-3 in favor of West Virginia. This defense starting to look pretty strong from Maryville.
It's starting to look more like Maryville, and now as our economy is starting to get back on track, I mean, looks like they are going to have enough money for 5 rifles and 5 heavy armors, but on the side of West Virginia, we see a sheriff and a light shield, we see that stinger, we see a couple of sheriffs now and a marshal, so
yeah.
I mean,
Excite with that marshal. Still no kills to Excite's name, 0-4 thus far. Getting pinned down on those executes by the likes of Giza.
And now we kind of need to see West Virginia make one of those hero plays like we saw from Giza with the sheriff. You know, find that early kill. You know, maybe try and find 2 quick headshots and give yourself a chance to win this round, because I mean, with Maryville having all those rifles, it's gonna be really oppressive.
Absolutely, and Inox trying to get a little bit of a lurk off there on B site, forced to back up. Did commit the Viper Orb early. Now Guk with a smoke in his hands almost gets caught out by Ainge. Dinks takes the fall for it. A TP up into smoke. So predictable. Maryville just sprays it out. And now it's a stunned Excite behind a Viper wall with just a sheriff getting spammed through. And West Virginia looking to just count their losses and get back. But when you have 3 sheriffs, you kind of have to fight this.
Probably a bit too predictable there from Guk. I mean, Ainge just heard that song a million times in the course of his Valorant life with the smoke and the TP, and now Maryville just looking to clean up here. West Virginia only with 2 players, and I believe a sheriff and perhaps a marshal there on
30 seconds
in
left.
the hands of Excite, and trying to maybe get a kill, maybe take a gun away from Maryville, but looking rough here.
Looking very rough. Both players looking to just play for their lives here. Maybe get an exit kill to maybe take or give a hit there to the Maryville Eco, but Spike will go down, so they do get the money from that, and now it's just Inox up in kitchen. 2 players coming through, and he just has a sheriff, and he peeks a little bit too far to the left. Wildfire catches him on the timing. Excite does get 1, looking for a second on Ainge, but he looks away. Bad timing once again, and Ainge gets 3 on the round. Maryville almost getting a flawless round, but 4 alive is nothing to scoff at.
And able to tie it up. They've really shifted the momentum here. You know, we talked about West Virginia coming out hot, and they were able to do it. But then you got to hold on to that fire. You can't let it burn out too quickly here. And now, I mean, West Virginia. I mean, we're going to see their economy here in a second. It's going to look a little bit better than last round, but I mean, Maryville just has all the momentum right now, really pushing the action. And it looks like West Virginia's got to maybe try a little bit of a different gameplay, and maybe try and go up mid. Maybe just try and get push. But Killjoy going set up at mid here. Maybe trying something a little bit different.
Yeah, absolutely. And Icebox typically the defensive sided map. So if you're West Virginia, Maryville did rattle off 3 in a row, tying it up 3-3. But still, all is not lost. You have the whole defensive half, and perhaps you get a string of wins here, and you can go into the half up a couple rounds, which would definitely be ideal. Either way, West Virginia back with rifles in their hands. We're going to see Guk and Dinks following A77. A77 getting that lurk up through mid with that Viper Orb activated. Inox on a lurk here. He has 2 players on B site, and he jiggle peeks a little bit, but Renz catches him. A77 blind, but still wins the 1v1 against Giza, and now it's Wildfire. Forced to pull that knife out and run away. Dinks looking for the 1v1 against Chloric over at yellow, and here comes the Sova ult. It's hitting Dinks once, it hits him again. Wildfire taking out the duelist with the Sova ult, but Guck gets another trade, so we're still tied. 3-3, 2 players for West Virginia, 1 HP. Guck has to play this really smart if they want to get a post plant off, and the aftershock from Renz. Here comes the ultimate.
So he's able to get around corner there, so safe for the time being.
30
Watch
seconds
out for the
left.
flank there for other Mountaineers, but only 30 seconds here to get the spike down.
Absolutely. Ainge on that flank will now change courses and go up through mid, and Renz gets the timing on Guck. And Excite with the stun. Not much to do, but they didn't secure the kill. He has 10 seconds. Has to get the plant down or kill 2. And another stun from the breach. Nothing much you can do about that. And West Virginia drops another round, goes down 4-3.
Renz had that site on lock.
Locked down.
I mean, such good use of his util there, both for himself and setting up his teammates. Almost a one-man army, just sitting right in the middle of point B. And now I'm not going to come out here from the side of West Virginia, as they have lost 4 rounds in a row. Now, I would not be surprised if this was a game of runs, but now we're going to get to see where this coach, but both of these coaches can really kind of make their impact.
Yeah, absolutely. And early timeout here from West Virginia. Definitely a timeout I would call as well. I mean, Giza at 10-4, just lasering your team right now. You know, we need to see the likes of Dinks get more active. We haven't seen much entry from the duelist there of ISO. You know, the only reason you would pick ISO is to isolate those 1v1s and get some easy, rack up some easy kills. You build up that ult, but we haven't really been seeing that. We're seeing a lot of indecisiveness over towards the B site and the A site, for that matter.
And we're really seeing why on this map Jet is the pick, because it is so much easier to get on a site. You know, I mean, throw a smoke, throw a dash. You can cover so much ground. You can take up so much map space. And West Virginia is they're kind of having a hard time, you know, getting in these good post plant positions that maybe they wouldn't be in if they had gone for different duelists. But I mean, I'm gonna trust the process here. And
Absolutely.
I mean,
I don't hate the ISO pick. It's definitely viable in some situations. It's just you have to play to the ISO strength, and I don't think we've been seeing that just yet. It's just being shut down by Wildfire and Giza. And now we're going to see a 5-man execute onto A site, going in a little bit fast. Guck watching that cubby. And Wildfire's pushed up, Giza up on the height, and just like that, the ISO Dinks goes down, and Wildfire goes down as well. Giza gets a kill onto Guck, and just like that, you're in a 3v4 scenario with no duelist to entry the site.
maybe you can
And no smokes.
Maybe you can try and commit an ultimate here if you're at West Virginia, just to try and get some map space. Maybe get a pick, but I mean, I'll probably pretty unlikely with the ults they have at their at their expense. But
You do have the Killjoy lockdown. You do have the Sova ultimate. So, you know, a lot in the pockets of West Virginia to try to make something work. Excite's going to go for a cheeky plant here up in Nest, but that Aftershock's going to hit Inox there.
Player standing.
really seeing
Giza is just burning West Virginia right now, and Inox looking to get one. Does get an exit kill, but goes down. And just like that, Maryville's going to get the defuse, and they're going to go up 5-3. West Virginia looking a lot different the past 4 rounds.
Yeah, well, I mean, the timeout came through, and I mean, the game plan, you did get the spike down. So I mean, a little bit more successful than some previous rounds, but still not able to see it all the way through. I will say, Renz and Giza on the breach and on the arena have been a dynamic duo so far, setting each other up so well, and we see them at the top of the leaderboard for Maryville. They're really playing off of each other's strengths very efficiently, and I mean, Western's having a really tough time trying to deal with it.
Right here.
Yeah, absolutely, and it looks like they're going to try to commit to another A fight here. I wonder if they're going to look out for those early walkouts from Giza and Wildfire. They're just taking so much space up by the ult orb, and A77 misses a shot on that dart, so now Wildfire knows exactly where the players are up on the bridge, and Giza takes out Dinks, wastes no time, and once again, West Virginia's playing without a duelist. Excite and A77 trying to play around this corner, maybe get a peek onto Renz, and A77 does with the Guardian. Taking out Renz, and now you are even. But Wildfire and Giza are still there, and Wildfire gets 2. A77 does pick up Giza. Excite gets the trade onto Wildfire, and it's a 2v2 with 2 ults on the side of West Virginia. They will commit the Killjoy lockdown, and now they're biding their time for the well-timed plant.
Buy time to get the spike down, but they're not too urgent here. But they are going to get the plant, and Maryville can kind of try and reset here for a retake. They do have Sova ult. Very, very good for post plant here. And I mean, I would say all the more worth it to use it if you can secure it. But
We're going to see the Sova drone committed, does spot at least one over at CT. Excite at 21 HP, so low, and A77 with no shield. Throwing that turret down. Second swarm grenade will be committed as well, and now the alarm bot spots out A77. He can't get the flick fast enough and goes down to his counterpart in Ainge, and Excite so low, can't really peek. Does wide swing Ainge, but can't get the timing on the defuse, and West Virginia looking better in the gunfights, but still losing a round, going down 6-3.
well, I mean, you had the Sova ult there. Decided not to commit it. I mean, it did look like he did have a lineup. But I mean, Sova Dart, what, 75 damage, not enough to get that one shot. So, I mean, I'm not sure if I love that from West Virginia. Maybe if I was there, I probably would have committed the Sova ult. Just, you know, try and stop the bleeding right now. I mean, that's 6 rounds in a row for Maryville. Try and just get yourself back on the board. But I'm sure they have a plan, and now, I mean, obviously they still do have the Sova ult here for their next attack. Looks like they are just going to try and go on A again.
Absolutely, and now with just Sheriffs and Stingers, you know, you've got to try to put a Band-Aid on a big gash here to stop the bleeding. Like you said, the Sova drone comes in, does spot player or two in the back, and the Judge gets a kill on the Giza there in the maze, and now Wildfire taking out Inox, and you have just a Judge in CT. They're too far away. Ainge gets the kill, and the Sova ult is committed here for the likes of Wildfire. Excite still holding on to his. Dinks at half HP, does get Chloric, looking for another one up on the bridge, but
it's you and me.
Nothing just yet. A77 at just under 70 HP. The plant will go down, and it's a 3v3. Dinks in his ult. Dinks takes out Ainge in the ult, so that is massive. That's why ISO is so good on these post plants. Dinks gets a third. Can he get a fourth? No, he gets taken out with Wildfire. Wildfire gets a second. Now it's a 1v1. Sova versus Sova. Excite at lower HP. Only 2 bullets and just a stinger in hand. Wildfire will tap the spike. And Excite, what a shot! With the stinger, winning the 1v1 and taking a map, stopping the bleeding. West Virginia cutting the lead 6-4. What a play there from Dinks and Excite.
It looks like the school nurse was right. You really can just put a band-aid on anything, and you are just fine. West Virginia, they really needed that one. Cannot overstate how important that is. Now, 2 more rounds in this half. You're probably, I mean, you want to. You're hoping you can get one here if you're West Virginia. Come out, I mean, maybe tie, maybe 7-5. But Maryville does have 2 ults, and but I mean,
West Virginia, you have the Omen ult, you have the Sova ult at your disposal. The question is, will they use them? Excite's been holding it onto it for a while, and right on cue, he throws his backside onto A. Can't really mark anyone out just yet. Dinks pops the double tap. He's walking in. Ainge gets a kill onto Inox early, and now Wildfire gets one onto Guck as well. It's just Dinks in this little cubby. Aftershock goes through. He does dodge it, dodges the flash as well. Dinks gets one onto Renz. It's a 3v3, 2 plays for Maryville. Very, very low HP. Dinks at 22 HP himself.
Got the spike.
Will pick up the spike, and now he's vulnerable from that Viper wall, and you have to try to find the time to get a safe plant. Giza at about 1/3 of his HP, playing around CT.
Maryville committing the Viper ult, you know, really just kind of put in the sight on one. Although they are at a
Player standing.
Oh, and a backstab.
The third.
A backstab up from that nest area. Giza getting one on A77 as well, and now Maryville closing in on an 8-4 half, which is way less manageable than a 7-5 if you're West Virginia. In another low buy, we're gonna see Inox with a Bulldog, Dinks with that Guardian, Excite with the lone rifle with the Vandal, and 3 light shields. This is gonna be tough if you want to close out the half on a high note.
They do have the Omen ult, and Inox is 1 away from that Viper pit, which, I mean, can lock down a site almost instantly for the Mountaineers. But I think the issue is going to be coming with just getting onto site here with this severe disadvantage they find themselves just in over there.
Oh, and
Yeah,
Giza getting
Giza's
2
wide
early, getting a
open.
third.
Gets 3.
Giza is already on
immediately.
ace watch for this round. And now it's just up to Excite and Inox trying to make something happen on A side. Excite already making his presence known, having to take out that Sova drone, and now Inox gonna walk up through the wall, just a Sheriff in hand. He has Wildfire on that low ground right behind him, and he doesn't clear it, and Wildfire takes him out. And just like that, Maryville takes a 3-0 deficit and turns it into an 8-4 half on defense. And West Virginia has to pick this up on the defensive side.
Winning 8 of your last 9 rounds there from Mira was probably just in their game plan. I mean, they were really able to turn around after, I mean, that hot start from the Mountaineers. West Virginia, we saw the timeout come out. We saw a little bit of a different approach coming from after the timeout. I'm sure, no doubt because of a little bit of adjustment made by the coach, but not too much success. But I mean, now on defense, you do have that killjoy, you do have that Viper. Maybe you can come up with an interesting strategy here to try and get a hold in to try and come out early here on this pistol round and get around back.
Yeah, Icebox typically a defensive-sided map, and we're going to see that Viper wall pretty much on B site the whole time, I would imagine. Inox playing it yellow early. A77 is probably going to be fighting for mid control here up in that kitchen area. An early smoke goes out, so Excite can get that first alt orb. And now Maryville playing this very slow. A slow walk over towards that B main entry, it looks like. Some spamming is coming through from Wildfire. Just making some noise to give the rest of his team some time to get over towards B, and it's just Inox with a ghost looking down the barrel of 4 players. Ooh, a good headshot there, but at that range doesn't get the kill. Ainge is going to be at 1 HP for this fight. Very good info for Inox.
Absolutely.
Oh, but Giza with the spray through the wall.
Oh.
And Inox goes down. Giza's going to get a free plant.
Spike planted.
They have Wildfire on
Sneaky there from
flank
Wildfire.
watch. We go from a good flick from Inox to a 3v5. 2 players from Maryville
Right
at
there
low
in the
HP though, and Chlorix getting another one as Excite walks into smoke, dodges the flash, and Guck gets one onto Chloric. But still 2v4 and the spike is ticking. Double tap comes out and he's gonna look to make something happen. Guck is gonna throw out that smoke, but it might be too little too late. Blind goes into yellow, but Thinks has to clear both sides, and he can't. Ainge with the Sheriff gets the 1 tap, and Guck's just walking into a firing squad now, looking to get an exit kill, and he does get Ainge, but not much more, and Maryville takes this attacking pistol round pretty cleanly.
I mean, really convincing there from Maryville. I mean, West Virginia, we mentioned in the first half, pistol rounds, not always been their best friend. But I mean, on attack, they were able to win it and then string it into a couple more. But what West Virginia cannot let happen here is let this steamroll into the next 2 or 3 rounds going in the way of Maryville. West Virginia has to do something very quick here if they want to have a chance to try and get back into this, because I mean, you're down 10-4, manageable down 11-4, 12-4 against Maryville. You're gonna have a tough time.
And we're gonna see Guck buy a Bucky here on this eco round for West Virginia. Another free ult orb from Excite, getting 1 more tick closer to his Sova ultimate. And the drone is coming out for Maryville, but they have 4 players up CT. In just a few seconds, Maryville sent 4 up CT, and West Virginia has no idea. Now Chloric with the Bulldog, and Ainge with the Phantom, getting 2. Chloric gets another one. Now it's Stinks with the Sheriff. What a call.
What a game plan.
What a call from Maryville to walk up mid. Slow walk, walked right into CT there.
You know, it almost seemed perfect. West Virginia hard stacked 4 people on A site, but then Maryville just made that quick rotation, ran it down mid, and now Inox in a 1v4 here with just a Sheriff. I mean, do you even go for the hero play here? What
You're on that eco round. You kind of have to just play your life and die to spike to avoid losing as much money as possible and avoid giving them an ult orb. But either way, I mean, holy, what a call. Anti-eco round. Send 4 up mid and walk right into CT. Soul reading that West Virginia is going to be 4 stacking that A site, not in position for a CT defense.
This Maryville team. We know how good he is, and he is showing it right now.
Absolutely. I mean, that's something you'll see in that's something you'll see in a ranked game.
Yeah.
You don't see that in collegiate, but with Maryville, I guess anything goes, and if it works, it works, and it looks like it does. And West Virginia finally getting rifles in their hands, but you're down 10-4 on Icebox. It's going to be a tough one.
Well, it's a benefit when you have a program like Maryville that is able to draw on all this high-level talent. You don't always have to play so standard. I mean, when you have people that can click ahead to work, like wherever you want, and I mean their mechanics are top notch, you can kind of get a little bit more creative here with your approaches, because I mean if all else fails, you just have the mechanics to bail yourself out.
Yeah, and that breach stun is going to go through Tube, giving Giza an easy walk up to contest A77 for that kitchen control. But once again, 4 slow walking up B. West Virginia just kind of walking around trying to get as much information as they can over on that A site, but nobody's there. Inox will rotate back over to Snowman and gets a quick one onto Ainge. Great aim from Inox. Aim looking snappy in this round and looking to commit that snake bite, but not just yet. A77 is in nest, looking for a head to click, and he finds one, but can he get it? No. Giza gets that crossfire and takes out A77, and just like that, West Virginia down again. 4-3. Gut gets one, can't get the spray onto the other. Wildfire taking over this defense along with Giza, and it's another 1v3.
Excite here. Do not envy the position, but I mean, is Silent not sure if Maryville knows where he is? He can make something happen, but I mean,
Yes, Chloric watching yellow. Or excuse me, that was Giza. He does get Giza a little bit more manageable here, but the spike is running out of time, and he has to tap and try to get a kill, but they're going to delay this perfectly. No time left on the spike. All he can do is get an exit, and just like that, when West Virginia finally cleans up the Maryville team, they don't have time for the spike, but I mean, that's 2 rounds in a row. Maryville is just able to shift walk wherever they want. They can take as much map space as they want. West Virginia seems to not be able to do, like, they can't do anything right now to stop Maryville from just walking onto site and getting 2 or 3 kills early.
The rotations from Maryville have been so, I mean, they are shift walking. They are technically going slow, but they still happen so fast. West just doesn't even know what to do. I mean, that time we even saw Excite get on the site and get the kills, but it just didn't matter. Maryville at that point was just playing for time because, I mean, they had maneuvered around the map so early on that they didn't even need the kills.
Absolutely, and we're going to see West Virginia try to get more aggressive out here and maybe soul read an early walk-up like has happened the past couple rounds, but once you try to soul read that B main, they all walk up A main, and nobody's over on A, just some Killjoy utility. And A77 is going to be playing over in CT. They already have so much space up on A. They already have the ult orb.
This is a disaster waiting to happen almost for the Mountaineers. Maryville almost has 5 people on site.
77 with
all
just a
removed.
sheriff. They already are basically in a post-plant scenario. The alarm bot does get triggered. A77 might be able to make something happen with the sheriff, but if you miss that first shot, it's hard to get another repeat, and the ultimate is committed here from Excite, and he does get Chloric, so a little bit more manageable. He gets a second. Excite has proven to be lethal with the Sova ults the past week, and he gets 2 on that one, but another one. Excite with the 3rd on Ace Watch with that Guardian in his hand.
That was a bit of a confidence boost there from Excite. I mean, even though the last round did find 3 kills at the end, and now trying to clean this
30 seconds left.
Wildfire taking Binks and getting Excite as well. It's Guk with just a judge. Now Inox up in nest, and A77 at 23 HP with just a sheriff. Spike has not been planted yet, though. So West Virginia might have a shot here, and they do. Inox, quick flick onto Wildfire. Now you just play the 10 seconds out. Don't let them get the plant, and A77 does just that, getting a free gun in the meantime. In West Virginia, they take a round. 11-5 is a little bit more manageable.
Excite is trying to breathe new life into this team. I mean, that's 6 kills in the past 2 rounds. I mean, despite only winning 1 of them, but the confidence may be coming back a little bit there for the side of the Mountaineers. A little bit still down on Utah right now. Not as many heavy armors as you'd like to see, but on the side of Maryville, they're almost going for a full save here with the sheriffs and the light armor. It's also going by a rifle, but I'm not sure if that's going to stay.
Yeah, now Dinks is going to walk out early, try to keep possession of this A main, and he does get 1 with the Guardian, putting up his personal shield, but Renz is too fast with it, and it's an even 4v4 here. Excite's going to be very wisely watching this CT area, but getting hit by that Sova drone. Guck playing up high. It looks like Ainge just might have sniffed that out. They're holding that angle. He's going to look out, but can't get the timing. Ainge with a good flick with the Guardian, one-tapping Guck. Let's just Excite with another Guardian, gets one, but Chloric cleans him up with the trade, and it's a 3v2. Maryville with 2 ults if they wish to commit them.
I think it might almost be worth it here for Maryville. I mean, on the save run, only Sheriffs to find themselves up 1 player with 2 ults at their disposal. West Virginia really needs to find a way to bring this round out for them.
Their push did stagnate a little bit with Ainge at very, very low HP. Any shot will be lethal to that killjoy from Maryville. And it looks like they might just be biding their time, hoping West Virginia assumes they're going to be rotating, but no rotate just yet. And A77 wise to it, walking up with Inox, and Ainge looks to bait himself at low HP, and it works. Chloric takes him out, and now it's just A77 and a 1v2. The snakebite comes out, forces
10 seconds left.
A77 back into the maze, throwing a swarm grenade, and here comes the Viper's Pit committed from Chloric. This is such a tough spot for A77. Get the timing, he gets the timing, but Chloric is crouched. And just like that, Maryville goes into match point. That was closer than it had to be, but Maryville still comes out on top. Very, very well played with the Viper's Pit at the end.
You had to win that round if you're West Virginia. I mean, you had every advantage almost. Winning that previous round had the economy, and you had to have it. Now down 12-5. I mean, having to win seven rounds in a row just to trigger overtime against the Maryville team.
Track them down.
Really daunting task.
Absolutely, and the next map after this one will be Sunset, so we will likely see the likes of Dinks on Neon. Maybe he will be a little bit more proactive than he was this map on the ISO, and now Guck with a well-timed swing, but Wildfire, even better timing on the refrag, and Excite with a Marshall does pick up Chloric, but Wildfire just going crazy. 3 in the round once again, and now it's just Inox with the Sheriff. We've heard this a million times before. It's a 1v3. And with this match point, Maryville does have that Sova ult if they wish to put an end to it quickly.
Spike planted.
The hero play to end all hero plays is what is needed right now, and now he gets tagged with the bolt.
This is going to be over, and Maryville takes Icebox 13-5, a map we haven't seen from West Virginia in a long time, and a bit of a goofy, I shouldn't say goofy, a bit of an unexpected pick there in terms of comp with that ISO. And either way, it didn't go as planned for West Virginia. Maryville does take it, and I believe we're going to go to a few-minute break and try to make sure our technical difficulties are all back and fixed how they should be, and we will catch you on the other side on Haven. Or excuse me, Sunset.
Sunset.
Welcome back, folks, and we are going to see that sunset. We are going to see Dinks on the Neon. Same comp as last week against Cumberland Rising for the Mountaineers. Giza opting to stay on that Reyna. Double duelist on sunset with the Neon from Chloric, who played Viper last map. Very, very interesting choices here from Maryville, but, I mean, if they've shown anything tonight, or in their history, is that they can play anything and they can make it work.
Well, I guess when you're hot, you're hot. And Giza right now on the Reyna is hot. So why not just stick with it? I mean, we saw even with the Sheriff, that guy was good for 3 to 4 kills a round. So it is a bit off meta, but I'm not shocked by it. Mountaineers sticking with, as you said, exactly what they ran last week against Cumberland, and we're able to get the map win last week. Looking for a similar result here. I am excited to see Dinks back on the Neon. We know how deadly he is, and I think he can make a much bigger impact on this map than we saw on Icebox.
We're getting some more role changes here. Wildfire on the Sentinel instead of Ainge. So we're going to see Wildfire on that Cypher, Renz on the Sova, and Ainge on Smokes, which is a little bit interesting. Either way, I mean, like, if I'm duoing with someone and we get into a ranked game and we pick Neon Reyna, somebody's going to dodge.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this is very surprising for me, seeing a double duelist comp on Sunset. Haven't seen this much at high-level play, at least I haven't. Either way, this is the map that Dinks tore up last week against Cumberland Rising. And West Virginia once again starting on attack.
But as you said, if anyone could pull it off, why not Maryville? Why not this team right now playing so well? But West Virginia, trying to find a way to turn this around, trying to find a way to get back some of their confidence. I do think a little bit of a comp change can help with that. Obviously right now on the Cypher and the Neon instead of the Killjoy and ISO from last map. But I mean, just switching stuff up, trying to get back into rhythm like they had early on in that first map.
Absolutely, and Inox throwing out an early stun onto B. Looks like it's gonna be Inox just walking by himself with Excite close behind, and Guk getting an early kill, onto Renz. It's gonna open up a lot more of this map if you're West Virginia. But there's a late flank here from the likes of Maryville. I don't know if A77 is prepared for it, and he's not. Chloric cleans him up with the Neon flank. You don't typically expect the Neon to be going slow. And now Dinks is going to walk out in the smoke, and he gets a really good timing on a Wildfire, but Chloric getting 2 more on the flank. Guk cleaning up Giza, so now it's a 2v2. Omen Neon versus Omen Neon, and Guk takes out Ainge, his Omen counterpart, throwing out the blind. Dinks with the classic.
Last player standing.
Guk with the Sheriff gets taken out by Chloric, and Chloric getting a pistol round to ace to open up the Sunset map. As much as we talked about Dinks on Neon, we forgot about Chloric.
All done.
And Maryville,
Please don't talk
a
me.
very convincing first round win.
Well, Chloric, as I said, on Viper last map. Now pulls out the Neon, hops on Duelist, gets an ace first round. Not bad.
Yeah, not bad.
There from Chloric.
Not bad, It's just a pistol round ace. No big deal.
Just clicked on heads 5 times. That Ghost so strong on that first round, and now West Virginia looked like they had that round in their hands. And I mean, against such a strong opponent, you really can't afford to be losing those 1v2s. But I mean, when it comes against Chronic, anything is possible. I mean, that guy is certified nuts.
Absolutely, as we're seeing right now, and West Virginia on this Eco Dinks getting the first contact with that classic. Does click the head of Chloric, but Guk following it up with a good shot with the Sheriff. That's exactly what you need. Excite cleaning up Chloric. So just like that, Guk and Excite open this A-site wide open. Ren's getting 2 with the Guardian. A77 getting the cleanup, giving West Virginia a 1-player lead instead of 2. Either way, Maryville scrambling to get to this backside of A for the defense. It's going to be Giza, and it's going to be Wildfire fighting for control of this A site. And Inox already up through elbow, looking for a timing here on Wildfire. Giza gets 2 with the Guardian. Nothing's impossible when you have Giza on your squad. Inox has the worst gun, looking for a quick swing there, but Giza getting 3 with the Guardian.
And Enoch's already so low, so just a body shot needed there from the guard.
These duelists from Maryville are
And-
really showing out.
And again, we see West Virginia come out early, gotten 2 picks in a 5v3, and then I think, was it collateral there?
It
from
may have
Mary,
been.
Finding 2 with 1 with the Guardian, obviously, you know, an inherent advantage having those stronger weapons. But I mean, West Virginia, again, a good opportunity to win a round, not able to close it out.
Go, go, go!
And we're in round 3. Chloric already has the finger guns ready for Neon. And I think prepping that did buy a judge. Now Dinks is going to try to run out early here onto B site with that Phantom in hand. Breaking the Cypher Cam early. The Shock Dart comes out to try to get any trips that were there out of the picture. Dinks with an early kill on Renz, using that slide to get away. Giza does get the trade onto Guk, however. Stun comes out. That is 1 blind out from Giza. Now West Virginia playing slow here. Wildfire so patient in that cubby with a judge.
Last player
And here comes the
standing.
blind from Market, and nothing you can do. Chloric gets 1, Ainge gets 1, Wildfire gets 1, and West Virginia crumbles
West
on
Virginia
the B site.
Looked a little timid. I mean, they did find the opening pick that was traded out, but then, I mean, you have 4 there. You can't imagine there's more than 2 or 3 on site, but I mean, giving Maryville so much time to rotate. And then, I mean, we saw Wildfire with the judge in the corner, always dangerous when unchecked, and is able to find 2. But I mean, West Virginia probably gotta look to change something up here. Maybe a different approach. I mean, maybe play a little bit more split, play a little bit more slow. I mean, with just Sheriff, so you're probably not gonna be going for a full rush, but I mean.
Yeah, Dinks is going to try to take mid control early here with just a Sheriff. 4 Sheriffs and a Stinger, and just like that, Giza getting 2 already. With that Phantom, Dinks can't avoid the stun, and waiting for that Chloric swing. Giza gets a 3rd, and we might see a 2nd ace here, but no, A77 gets that little flick, taking out Giza with that Sheriff, but it's not going to matter. Renz cleans him up, and it's just Dinks getting 1. Can't get another exit kill, and West Virginia is looking a little sluggish here on Sunset.
Go, go, go!
Giza so far this map. I mean, I don't care if I have 4 duels on my team. If Giza hasn't picked it, I'm telling him to pick
I'm
Reyna.
out of here.
This guy can play Reyna with the best of them. I mean, already 7 kills in the first 4 rounds. I mean, what are you even supposed to do about him? Every time you peek him, he's taking the head off your shoulders. I mean, and now with 3 ults on this side of Maryville, 3 as well for the Mountaineers. But I mean, really gotta try and get a round winner too soon.
Yeah, this is where I want to see the mind games from Inox start to come through. Do something crazy. Use some util. You know, get in their head a little bit. Maybe some sneaky rotates. But once again, the same setup. Dinks over in tiles does get a kill. A77 does as well. And now West Virginia is up a player after Excite goes down early. But Chloric evens it up. They're just walking into these sight lines. Inox does clean up Renz. So it is more manageable now with 3v2 for West Virginia, but they have to enter this B site through the Cypher utility. Dinks, the ult is available. And he slides in, does get Wildfire, but he's a 7 HP, and he slides right into Chloric's finger guns. Guk cleans it up and gives West Virginia their first point on Sunset. Very well played from Inox, Guk, and Dinks there.
Played and very important there. I mean, going down 4-1 here. I mean, still manageable here for the Mountaineers, and only committing the 1 ult there from the Cyber, so they still have 3 more with Enox's ult coming online soon. But you talked about the mind games and the strategy here coming out from Enox. We talked about Maryville last map. They did some creative things, but that West Virginia didn't see coming, and that works to a T for this Maryville team. And I agree with you. I want to see something similar from West Virginia. I mean, just try and, you know.
Just like that, we get an instant stun onto A, and Dinks popping the finger guns early, and he's gonna run back site looking for Ainge, and he finds him. Spraying through that smoke, nobody there. He does pick up a free gun. Now West Virginia looking good on this plant. Here comes the Sova ult trying to get that plant away, and Excite throws one of his own for the counter. Let's look at the plant down. Giza, A77 wisely not taking that imbalanced 1v1 with the Reyna blind up. Dinks, no more ultimate to use. That overcharge has been deleted. Oh, Inox, unfortunate swing there on Renz, and Excite follows him up. Renz gets 2.
Last player standing.
Chloric gets 1. Giza gets 1. Gok does find a kill onto Chloric to maybe stop the bleeding for a second, but it's too little, too late. Wildfire cleans him up. Giza's going to get the defuse, and Maryville back in the winning column. 5-1 already on this Sunset map.
It almost happens in an instant. As soon as Maryville just gets a sniff of weakness, or I mean, as soon as they see one of their shots hit, it is rapid fire. It is everyone get in there now. We know we know we have that confidence. We always think that we're gonna win every gunplay that we're in, and I mean it just seems like every single time they swing, they're fighting ahead of a Mountaineer almost immediately.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that post plant setup from West Virginia. I mean, you know Chloric's alive, you know Giza's alive, and you know Renz it has been playing a little bit back. When you have that double duelist comp, you're going to see Renz play a little bit back behind those duelists. I just don't really know why Inox and Excite decided to both swing out of elbow. Either way, Dinks pushing up elbow once again, looking for this A-side execute early. A77 on flank watch, looking for a timing on Giza, and he gets it. Renz backing up wisely. A77 might get a little bit greedy and walk out for this gun. Just a Sheriff in hand. Can he get the head? He can't. Renz takes him out, and it's even just like that, 4-4. The Omen Blend comes out. Chloric.
Found the spy.
Dinks finally gets a kill this round onto Wildfire. Staring down the barrel of Ainge and Renz. The Shark Dart forces him out. Here comes the breach ult from Inox. Dinks looking to get proactive, but Renz with a well-placed first bullet takes him out, and it's just Inox with a Sheriff and no ultimate, just a flash in hand. Let's get the flash, and looks like he's not going to be able to clean this up. Such a difficult position for the IGL. He can't delay it long enough, and Maryville will get the round 6-1, and another post-plant demolition for Maryville.
I mean, they have the position. They don't have numbers assigned, but they do have that breach ult, and it lands. But Renz, I mean, it doesn't even matter that it hits. He just one shot is all he needs, and he's able to find that pick. I mean, and even with we saw, I believe it was A77 finding that early pick with the Sheriff. I mean, maybe it was a little bit too greedy going for the gun, but at the same time, are you going to win that round with just Sheriffs? Probably not. You probably do need that rifle. Although, I mean, of course, we did see he does get punished there. And now timeout for West Virginia.
This timeout was called by Inox as well, the IGL. So telling the coach, hey, we need this timeout and we need it now, which I definitely agree with. You're down 6-1. Once again, Sunset, another pretty heavily defensive-sided map, but I mean, 6-1 is a really difficult deficit to come back from, even on a map like Sunset.
Of course, and we are seeing Dinks on the Neon perform here. We are seeing him. I mean the engages are a little bit cleaner. He is able to find these kills, but I mean, and sometimes it's not even just that the follow up isn't there. A lot of times it's just the execution of the post plant and just able to close out rounds. The Russians having a lot of trouble here.
Because you know when Dinks goes in for those early frags, he's likely not going to come out alive. So it's up to his other 4 teammates to set up that post plant. And when you have the double duelist of Maryville, the post plant is where they succeed the most. Those retakes, you have the Neon and you have the Reyna utility to really have a fast execute on that retake. And West Virginia has yet to find an answer. And Dinks with the Stinger looking to go fast through elbow once again. It will be caged off. Looks like he's thinking about walking right through it, and he will. He gets hit by the trip, but it will be broken. So now a lot of information for this Maryville team. They know at least one is in elbow, and the spray through the smoke takes out Dinks. Wildfire gets Inox just after, and just like that, it's a slaughter on A once again. West Virginia can't get through this setup.
There is Excite cannot find the kill, and Chloric's able to clean him up. We did see the timeout come out there. I wonder if they took that timeout. I'm sure they came up with a game plan. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they said, all right, here's the game plan. We're going to save it for when we can't have a full buy round here. Because, I mean, obviously last round with the Stingers, maybe you don't want to commit that new plan here. Maybe we're going to see that here. But, Western, I mean, no ults here either. I mean, close one, 877 almost. But,
Chloric really already with another Neon ultimate, and Wildfire has his Cypher ult for that full map information, and Dinks not expecting the walkout. Wildfire read West Virginia like a book. When you send a Neon into elbow 3 times in a row, you might see the Cypher walk out, and Wildfire did just that. And now West Virginia playing down 2 players as A77 gets taken out as well on that lurk through mid, and Excite's looking to just get a couple kills here for the eco, but they're like bloodhounds hunting down Excite, and he goes down, and Maryville is on a tear.
And we've seen West Virginia, they've tried almost the exact same thing 3 or 4 rounds in a row now. Just, you know, trying to push through that elbow early and often with the Neon. And no, I mean, this time, I mean, we saw Wildfire just like, all right, you want to come here again? Fine. Just walking on my crosshair, picks up 3 and does, I mean, 140 some damage to Excite there. I mean, almost won the round for Maryville single-handedly. I mean, West Virginia, they need to try something different.
Yeah, I mean, since Wildfire has been using that setup over on A site, I'd like to see West Virginia work mid a little bit more. You know, for the past several rounds, you've only had Giza walking out of market pretty aggressively and holding mid from there. So if you can take that mid control, you can maybe force a poorly timed rotate from Maryville and maybe get a free plan on one of the sites. But as they try to work mid, Cloric shuts that down, and so does Giza. Renz, everybody gets a kill this round. Renz does get a second, and it's just A77 with the Sheriff. Once again, we've heard that story a million times already tonight. And he will cage up to try to get away, and
Just getting ran at by everybody.
Giza was looking for a disrespectful knife kill there.
I mean, yeah. I mean, when you're playing like Maryville's doing it, it almost doesn't even matter. I mean, we can talk all day about just how strong their mechanics are and how strong their aim is, but it really is just a complete team effort here from the side of Maryville and just making it look really easy.
Absolutely, and you know, you will have rounds like that, but when you look at the bigger picture, it's really the closer rounds West Virginia just has to, like, if they execute a little bit better, they have a shot at it. They've had a lot of 2v2s and 2v1s that turn into 1v2s and 1v1s that probably shouldn't have. And we see Cloric walking up again. Giza getting another kill on Dinks. Mid is just impossible to penetrate if you're West Virginia. A77 getting beamed down from bottom mid. Cloric taking out Guck, and you know, there's hardly any util being thrown from either side at this point. It's just gunfights in mid that are coming, with Maryville coming on top.
I feel like you have to realize now, if you're West Virginia, that's not how you're gonna win this. You can't just ego peek mid, like or just run elbow every single round. You have to kind of find more of a deal to execute using some of your util. I mean, you can keep trying, but
we're seeing Excite Excite has all of his abilities in his pocket. None have been used, and now you're in a 2v2 against a Neon with their ult and a Cypher with their ult. You do get a free walkout onto B, but that Neon can rotate so fast, and Cypher's already hiding in that B main cubby. Looks like Excite will get the plant down, but I mean, this 2v2 is pretty much in Maryville's favor, in my opinion. You have the 2 ults if you opt to use them, and you have Inox at 65 HP, both Maryville players at full HP.
Last player standing.
And there's Cloric.
Casual defense, but I mean, just taken out.
Darkfire will come out, but that slide, he does track the slide. Well played from Excite, and now it's a 1v1 against Wildfire, who's been beaming so far on Sunset. Spike is running out of time, slowly but surely. Wildfire might try to stick this. No, he does get off, but Excite can't win the duel, and Wildfire cleans it up, and 10-1 is not what you want to see if you're a Mountaineer, but Maryville is absolutely destroying this Sunset defense.
Definitely not a rehash of Icebox. This has been extremely one-sided. I mean, on Icebox, we did see glimpses of hope for the side of the Mountaineers, but not so much on this map. And now Ange is going to pull out the operator on the Omen, which you don't see.
That's not too rare. I mean, when you have a Reyna and with their ult available, I would typically assume Reyna would have it. That dismiss is so fast, you can get a kill with that op and dismiss out. But Ange, you know, Omen op is not too difficult to find, and Giza taking out Inox early. Dinks with his ult up, 30 HP already, looking for a quick kill onto Giza, and he gets it. So that is the Reyna in the ult. Gone, but Ange with a quick shot on a Dinks. Cloric follows it up with a kill on A77, and it's a 3v2 already. Ren's at low HP, but it's just Excite.
Again, it's another round where just kind of running mid. You're just kind of running up mid, and you're just kind of hoping that Maryville, who's going to have those angles, that they're just going to miss, and they're not. That's,
Switching
I mean,
sides.
Yeah, the last several rounds look to be just a confidence depletion if you're West Virginia. I mean, you know, not many changes in strategy. Nothing really is changing. You're just banging your head against a wall until maybe something breaks and you get a kill. But, you know, maybe you're on defense here. You can get a a breath of fresh air, and maybe win the pistol round, and you win the anti-eco, you win the bonus, and all of a sudden it's 11-4. But we'll see. It's such an impossible deficit to come back from.
just trying to build the smallest bit of momentum is really what the Mountaineers have to do now. And I mean, but again, I mean, Maryville has 2 duelists here, which is going to help them here with these initial site takes.
And both duelists are looking to run down A pretty quick here. Giza already using up their sprint, and Guck can't find the second headshot. Giza takes him out with the ghost. And West Virginia looking a bit shaky already on this defense, and the 4 players from Maryville already on B. Wasted no time with that rotate. A77 gets 1, dodges the stun from the Neon. Gets a second, but Chloric cleans him up. It's an even 3v3 with the spike down. They don't know Dinks is there, and he gets 1. Gets the stun off. Can he get the second? No, Wildfire gets a headshot while stunned.
Scanning ahead.
So he might just want to stay back and wait for Inox to get there, but he's going to throw his shock darts. Inox being very sneaky, but bullets ring out, and now they know both players are in market. Shock dart connects, but Wildfire gets 2, and we're at match point already, 12-1 in favor of Maryville.
And I mean, we can really see some of the weaknesses of this Mountaineer team showing. It's almost not exclusively, but in these post-point situations, they really just kind of seem lost. Like I mean, I'm sure, and I know that the practices in the scrims, they're drilling this almost every single day. But I mean,
right there,
they're really having a tough time executing here. And I mean, maybe there is a bit of a confidence issue, just being down 12-1. I mean, maybe we're kind of in a all hope is lost type mindset here. But I mean, you got to think every round's a new round. You can always win the round. I mean, and it just looks like a little bit of a game plan issue here.
And 5 seconds in, Giza doesn't make it any easier. Inox does get 1, but Renz takes him out with the shock dart, and it's a 4v3. They're playing for the map at this point. Guck does connect with the stinger, but at 8 HP, Chloric gets the plant down.
And now they have to execute again here.
These post plants are where West Virginia has truly struggled, and now at low HP, no less. Excite does take out Renz, his Sova counterpart.
2 players in West Virginia, one on 1-shot health now, but we're gonna have to see things here with that full health bar make a play.
The stun comes out. Excite does get connected by it. Dinks walls out. Guck looking to smoke off main, which I really like that smoke, but Chloric with the Bulldog. Dinks looking to get a bit of a peek there, but it's a 1v2 at 8 HP and nothing you can do. Guck goes down, and so does West Virginia. Maryville takes the second map, 13-1 on Sunset. Absolute domination. They're going to take the series 2-0.
That last round is just really just a microcosm of what happened that entire Sunset. West Virginia in a post-one situation, up a player and not able to close it out. And I mean, we saw it time and time again there throughout that whole map. But I mean, we can talk all day